And welcome to Rest Point. Just a few minutes away from the start of our round 12 Premiership division in Tasmanian Rugby Union. Between those two teams, the Hobart Hutchins Lions and Hobart Harlequins. You can see Quinn's out on the field, and here's their team list. They've been getting better each week, Harlequins. They've had a tough slog this year, as yet to win a match. They've certainly started to put together some good rugby, and pleased to be able to get them onto the stream and show you this match today. Notice that middle of the field there, very muddy deep, and apparently rather smelly as well. We saw our under-17 game here, and the boys at the end had a bit of fun diving through that mud. You still see the slides out there. I'm sure these guys won't be doing the same, but they'll be well and truly looking forward to getting the game. We're just waiting for the Lions players to come out now, taking their time. We are still a few minutes before 3 o'clock, our scheduled starting time. Show you the Lions team list while we're still waiting for them. Not sure what's going on down in their rooms as to why they haven't come out on the whistle, but you can hear them. I think they're about to appear now. But there's their list. A bit of a short reserves bench listed today. I know there's another one on that list, Charles Negri, who's a new player this year, so he'll be another one on the bench. But looking quite short today, the Lions for their home game, and here they come. Led by Ian Clack Jr. So the boys shake hands. You can see the extent of that mud patch. The guys there just on the 15-metre line, so 15 metres out from the sideline on this side. And then you've got mud, and been quite a few scrums in that area there too, due to the nature of the field. So anything that's in that middle, scrum resets from kicks that go the wrong way end up in that area, and it's churned up a fair bit. So not a lot of width in the middle there with for the guys to play in. That's not very heavy. So Quinn's ready to rumble, and Hobart, their last few words before the game starts. Looks like we'll see Faye Leatua with the kickoff. And Hobart just moved back into position. Comes the kick, and we're away. Nice high and short one, taken by Hobart. Nicely by Rogers down there. And the ball shuffled back to Edwards. A little bit of a kick, kicks nice and long. Gets it back very deep and hits Mackay Cullen on the chest. Knocks him over, and then he runs straight into Cameron Ransley. Just trying to get away from that mud. But Harlequins get around him and support. Ransley comes back now and pushes the ball out. Very solid hit there, and the ball's been lost by Millhouse. And now Hobart have got it, but we're going to come all the way back here to that knock-on. So we saw it in the game earlier here with the under-17s. That ball security is really important. It's going to be slippery and muddy. At the moment, there's no rain. It's nice looking blue skies around us for a lot of the part, but this ground's very heavy, and indeed the guys are going to have to make sure that they're holding onto the ball because contact is shaking balls loose a fair bit. Okay, first scrum setting, and players just getting a little bit over eager. Got to get it right. I'd like to see a assertive scrum set from the referee when the first one comes out, just to make sure that everyone knows who's in charge. Good set. Clack now to put the ball in. Good drive from his forward pack too. Keeping it in. Milking the penalty, and they earn it now. Now Clack goes quickly and goes himself. He gets around the first two. There's no one with him. They're a long way back, and he's got a huge hole. Rodrigo can't get around him on the outside. Clack makes it into the 22 behind that tent there, and the ball will come back, though. Taken by one of the other Clacks. There's a few of them out there today. It was Will Clack coming into the halfback position in the number 17. And now they regather and just set up a few bigger players in the field. Logie has a bit of a run. Just goes sideways. And easily taken down in the end. Good work from Michael Frost there.
He's dropped into an accident.
And we've got coming back for a high tackle. So I think that was all the way back there on Clack, just as he got towards the 22. Slipped a little and copped the high one. So very good run there from Clack. He held on to that ball. He had no support, and Quins just stayed off him. Support from his back line was still about 15 metres away when he made the first break. I think they were expecting him to be tackled too, and once they finally got there. We'll set the line out with the ball in the hands of number 3, Thompson with the throw. Now Hobart attacking position here. Just stop-start though. And Logie runs onto a nice ball in the midfield. Hobart just driving that forward, but the ball slow to come out. Back inside finds Elliott. He's tackled well. But I think Dean Adam there not rolling out of the way quickly enough. And he'll be penalised. Gives a free shot here. Some good solid tackling out there. Mafu making a nuisance of himself in the tackle out there. And Clack goes for the quick one.
Scrum here.
And after the quick tap being in the wrong spot, Clack calls for the scrum. After the last one, why would you not? So very, very impressive first scrum out there to the Lions, and they'll be looking to repeat that here. I think they might fancy a pushover opportunity. It's not something that we see very often. Quins will need to dig deep. And ball goes in, and the push is on. Reed pops up, but interesting there that front row there of the Lions penalised. Duckett in the middle there, popping up and pushed Reed out. So just not keeping their body height down as they drove through in that scrum. So some reprieve there for Quins. Much better scrum that time. Good support from the second row, particularly in that situation. The front row not really stepping backwards in that one, and was what forced the pop. So Leah 2 with the kick and gets it outside the 22. And Quins will have another shot at it with the line-out throw. Reed with the throw. Go to Outman in the number 5 there. Gets up, just gets a hand onto it. Ball falls down. Ladlow flings it off to Mafu. He's got Albert and Leah too are wrapping around him, but just getting caught behind the gain line. And in the end, they get the ball out there to Mella, who's tackled. He's knocked it on in that tackle, though. Managed to regather it. Cullen, I think, there with the pickup, but no good. So good defence there from the Lions, just to shuffle across. And in the end, they've got a scrum there at pretty much the same distance out as the line out on the other side. So Quinn's not able to make any ground. Interesting there, Quinn's not opting to kick that ball out of this out of their defensive end. A better exit strategy would have been to kick it long. Tried to get the ball out. It's going to skid on in the kick too if you can get it onto the turf. It's going to give you a good opportunity. So another chance now. Lions with the put in. Good solid scrum. They now get the push and the go ahead and keep it in. Quins do a good job to not lose their form in that scrum. Now Webb dishes the ball out but can't find Clack. And it goes too high and out. Just pushed that pass a little bit too hard, did Webb. He had Derek Clack on his outside and wasn't able to give him a nice soft one. Mafu lets it bounce off his knee, goes backwards anyway. And Quinn's now on the back foot. They need to get this ball out of here. Ransley decides to kick and he finds Clack. Clack straightens up. Doesn't want to run into the contact and slows down and then waits for his support to arrive. Ball out, Edwards finds Weedman, who pushes it out to Eade under pressure. Now Rogers goes forward. And we'll see a penalty there, so Outman saw that ball there, looked free, but he's just ended up going off his feet. He wasn't quite able to get his hands on it and pick it up before he lost his balance and goes over that one. And by the look of it, with Taylor Webb there, he's going, "Oh, I'll take 3 points here." And Clack agrees. Although it doesn't look like Webb's going to be kicking it, he walks back. Just watching Taylor Webb doing some kicking practice before the game, and he was kicking pretty straight bullets from the sideline. Bounced one off the bar from the sideline, right off the middle. But captain Ian Clack Jr. decides that he's going to be doing the kicking. And he sets right in front of the post, just slightly to the right, taking his time. It's a nice striker, but he's put it out to the left. No, he hasn't. It's over. So first points go to Lions after a good 10 minutes of pressure. And they go to a 3-0 lead. Good strike there. He's kicked that from about 35. And he just made it over the bar, though. That's all it takes. Leah Tua now, captain of this Quins team. Puts a nice high kick down. Ladlow puts some pressure on but misses the tackle. And Hobart put the ball down and it goes long to Edwards. Attempts the torpedo but ends up getting on the top of it. And in the end, the ball falls into Cullen's hands. Breaks through a couple of tacklers into that mud and drives forward. They want a quick ball out of here, Quins, while Hobart has still got a few players offside. Didn't really get back onside there, I didn't think. did Hobart. And now Ransley fishes in. Dean Adam not watching the ball at all there. Nearly copped it in the head. Just getting in the way. And he wants it this time. Adam, though, doesn't catch it. Knocks it on. And we've had a couple of knock-ons each ways. Just a high pass there for Adam. Just needed a little bit lower. And we'll have another scrum with the feed by the Lions.
Thanks, Zach. You're all right. I won't say love, though. Power in the second.
A bit unsteady so far before that ball comes in. Quinn's just putting a bit of a drive on to start with. And the ball's out, and Ransley gets around and gets onto Clack, and Clack knocks it on. So pretty tough back there for Clack. I think the whole scrum there was not really stable initially, and he had to put it in with Quinn's already on the front foot. Just made it a little bit challenging for him. Then when he got to the back, ball was deemed out as he picked it up, and then good pressure from Cameron Ransley to get around and put the tackle on, and Clack dropped it back into the... I don't even know if he got it in his hands in the end, but now Ransley, with a bit of that good effort there, is going to get his own turn at putting it into the scrum. Promising signs there for Harlequins after the first couple of scrums being pushed back a fair bit by Hobart. And Hobart this time put the push on, so it's anyone's ball. Wish Wilson can't get it out, can't reach it. Ends up bustled backwards over his own body weight. And the scrum's going both ways, so Harlequins in that case there, not...
And I called his, and then it started again after that, so yeah.
Harlequins not able to maintain their weight in that scrum. Webb with the kick and puts it out safely, giving his team the line-out throw. 13 minutes down, and we're looking at 3-0 lead to the Lions. They've had all the possession. Harlequins really struggled to even get their hands on the ball, but the Lions, yeah, not quite putting anything together yet, just trying to adapt to this weather, adapt to the field, and throw there, not straight at all. Harlequins didn't even compete, but they didn't need to, and they'll have the scrum. Quick look around the grounds at the moment. So sitting at 3-0 here. At Burnie, we've got a match between University and Burnie. That one's currently 7-all. Ashton Reed with a nice solid run there. So in the end, Quinn's opt to tap. There's a bit of a tip upside down there of one of the Quinn's players at that breakdown. Could have been dangerous. There's a referee's hand out, I think, for an advantage. Ashton Reed just needs to be careful not to crawl too far there. Ransley with a nice pop back inside to Mafu, running a good line. And a bit of a head contact there. I think a bit of a head clash maybe. Ian Clack, as he tried to steal that ball, copped a really, really serious clean out from a couple of Harlequins players. But really hit him quite hard. He went flying. And he's still down, just on the to the left of our camera there. Just see him still there on the ground. Hopefully he's all right. Might have just got a face full of mud in the end, but no, very well cleaned out by a couple of rampaging players from Quinn's. We're coming back for an offside, and Leator with the kick finds touch. We've got Glenorchy travelling up to Devonport today, and that one's currently the Bulls up 7-0, and there's no score as yet registered for the Taroona versus Launceston match, which is the one to watch, I guess, for today, first versus third. But back here, 3-0, the Lions just up. Outman gets his hand on that line-up ball. Rotten bounce for Ransley, gets on and cleans it up, and Clack grabs it and steals it away. He's a pest at the breakdown, he's Clack. And Edwards looks for a bit of ground, but Cullen's covered it again. He's covered a few back there. And a good option to kick through there from Cullen. Hits the deck. Finds Webb, though. And he's got a great kick. And we're going to come back because players from Harlequins in front of the kick there. Moving forward rather than waiting. So you must retreat if you're in front of the kicker.
Penalty here where they were offside.
And the ball in the hands of Webb, who roosts it downfield and puts his team into an attacking position with the line out. The last one was not great, with a very, very wonky throw. So we'll see this time what Thompson can do. And he manages to find Summerfield. Just some slow movement by the back line there from Hobart. Clack to Edwards to Clack, and Clack back in there again, off to Edwards. He's got Weedman on his outside. Outman got up quick, but wasn't able to shut down either of them. But Dean Adam picks up 3 kilos of mud for his tackling efforts there. And now the ball's with Elliott. Outman up again, very quickly outside, but not able to shut the play down. Putting good pressure on, though, in that defensive position. It's a big fella. And horrible pass there over the heads, but well taken in the end at the bootlaces. And now Thompson comes in looking for the ball. Clack says, no, it's mine, and Edwards goes for another kick. He finds the dirt this time. Going to bounce back. Cullen just keeps it, traps it at his feet, luckily. Got some support. Nice run through from him. Gets past Rodrigo, and then flung to the ground by Eade. Unfortunately there, Jonah Albert comes in and tries to pick that ball up, but Cullen on the ground, they just kept his hand on the ball and just got to place it back instead of keeping his hand on top of it. Just made it too hard for Albert to pull that out, which is why that was dropped and then kicked forward. So good running back there by Cullen. I think you can just see his coach out there in junior Mafu just giving him some advice about putting that ball back more carefully and just not keeping your hand on top of it. Another crooked throw there. So line out woes for the Lions as Ashton Reid gets over the gain line. Messy work there, though. Not really cleaned up by his teammates. So good pressure there. Must have been allowed that line-out throw to be considered straight. I'm not going to come back for an advantage. Disappointment there for Quins after turning that ball over at the line-out there and not being able to just maintain it on the bottom of the ruck. Scrappy game so far, nearly halfway through this first half. Low scoring, a lot of mistakes still, just the handling's tough. And big boot downfield. Cullen is covered really well back here. This time he gets around, look, steps around Webb. He's got a great step. I'm really impressed with Mackay Cullen. He's proving himself to be a bit of a thorn in the side of the Lions with his great counter-attacking from back there. Got a great step and got around Webb with relative ease. Reid with the pick and drive around the ruck. So some good work at the breakdown here by Quins. Mafu goes a little chip, finds the grass, and Frost collects Webb. Frost has gone down here too.
Number 6.
But we've got offside play, well, not rolling away. Frostin is running into Webb back there as injured himself. He might have hurt his shoulder. It's pretty high contact, strong contact between them. He's got his arms above his head. Just have winded him, may have just winded himself. See him pointing at his sternum. He more likely just winded. Webb saw him coming and just sort of did a little bit of a duck. And Frost ran pretty much straight on into him. He's back on his feet though and coming back. So nice work there, Frost. Good pressure on that kick from Mafu. And Quins have got the penalty. So not rolling away at the breakdown, Hobart. And Leah Tua will kick for touch. And gives it, in the words of one of his teammates, a good nudge. No score changes as yet that I can see it around the other grounds. And Quins, after that being tapped by a number of their players, managed to get the ball back to Ransley, but he can't pick it up and knocks it on, and an offside player comes through and picks it up. So just a bit of bad luck there to Harlequins. Thought they'd done a pretty good job of managing to win that line out under a fair bit of pressure, but no luck. And with a kick there, we'll get the majority of the Hobart backline out of the mud. Like to see them try and get the ball out wide. If they can get around the outside of Jonah Albert's defence, I think they're going to be home and hosed. But the pass goes way over the head of Edwards. And Albert, in the end, is the first one to get there. And Quins have turned it over. So just a bit of apprehension around the Hobart players there. No one wanted that. Rodrigo came around and had a go at it. But in the end, Albert kept his eye on the ball and has won it for his team. But it's been stolen again by that man, that pest, Ian Clack Jr. He's just so good at the breakdown. He's so strong, such good balance, and he gets over that ball and he's almost impossible to dislodge. Gee, is a serious charge into that ruck there by someone from the Hobart side. And the ball gets kicked and Cullen will have another go. And he gets past again. He gets away from Rodrigo and gets past Summerfield. And again, he's just proving himself to be a nuisance for Hobart. Trying to avoid kicking the ball anywhere near Mackay Cullen, who's having a great game out there at fullback for Quins. Ball comes out. Frost having a run. Oh! Oh! Thank you very much. And another inside ball there for Mafu, but good tackle around the legs. And just a messy ruck here. But the ball comes back. Reed now. Quins got their tails up. Some really good running from their big fellas. And good support at the breakdown too by the forward pack. Hitting that at contact, at pace. And it's making it hard for Hobart. Leah too, they got caught way behind the gain line running across field. Taken by Eade. Mafu looks back inside. Oh, a bit of a knock on there, I thought, from Clack. And Mafu goes through the middle. Offloads to Leah Tua. Quins now with their first real attacking opportunity getting into Hobart's 22. They slow it down using their big fellas. Adam has a run. Is there any support there for him? Yes, there is. But Duckett hasn't rolled out of there, but the ball's come out easily. Mafu now breaks the first tackle and straightens up. He gets past the gain line, puts it back. Ransley's there quickly. Ashton Reed gets the ball, slips out of the tackle. Getting closer and closer on the 5 metre line now. Ransley comes in. He has a look. Oh, and look at that. Just Hobart player getting right in the way there. Should have been penalised for in the way offside. Ball comes wide. Finds the hands of Ladlow. We've got a penalty advantage now. Quins really got their tails up here. First opportunity to score a try. They're only about 2 metres out. Good defence on the line by Hobart. Ball comes back. Leatua throws it wide to Frost. Rodrigo gets in his way. Frost makes it to the line. He's very close. I think he's driven back, though. And he should get that ball back. No, held up. We'll come back for the penalty. So good defence from Hobart. Great pressure there. The cut pass out there to Frost was a good idea, but unfortunately he caught it flat-footed. Leatua with the tap. Takes it again inside the 5-metre line. Adam picks it up. Just driven across field. Wish Wilson now wants to go. Slips over it. Outman, he's close. He's gone over, I think. No, he's just short. Quins with another opportunity. Ball goes wide. Finds Ashton Reid, and Ashton Reid's over by the post. So great pressure from Harlequins, and they snatch the lead. Great defensive efforts from Hobart through there, but really good persistence from Hobart Harlequins. Just see that ball come out, and really good pressure. Taylor Webb with a good attempt to stop Reid from scoring, grabbing around the ankles, but the secondary defence was not there to stop him, and Harlequins end up with the first try of the day. And their captain, Faye Leatua, will take the shot from right in front. Plenty of noise in support out there from the Harlequins team. Their women's teams played a few matches down at Rugby Park earlier today, and Leatua puts the extra points on. So a 7-3 lead to Harlequins. They absorbed a fair bit of pressure from Hobart early on in this match. First 20 minutes was played all in Quins' end of the field, and they had very little possession, and once they got close, the threat rose, and the big fellas stood up and put so much pressure on around the fringes of those rucks. And some desperate defence from Hobart in the end was not good enough to stop Ashton Reid. So Quins showing what they can do when they've got the ball in their hands. It's just really good continuity from Harlequins in these kind of conditions. Yeah, there's a couple of options, a wide pass to Michael Frost, the cutout pass, but he's got good hands and took it nicely, but just doing the things that they do well, those 1%ers, and in the end it was too much for Hobart. So now we'll see the kick. First kick we've seen from the other side of the field today. Oh dear. So the kick goes, but Panisi bounces off his chest and knocks it on. So disappointment there for Philip Panisi, not able to snatch that one. And Hobart back in familiar territory for them. They spent most of the time down here so far. Few stray passes from Clack out of the base of the ruck or the scrum made it hard for Edwards. Really important for Edwards to put his backs on the front foot here. Bit of a draw and feed, give Eade a bit of space on his outside. Would be the dangerous thing to do. Hobart looking to milk a penalty here, but they lose the ball. And then again, just that sideways running. Coming back.
Just turn in the corner, Green.
So there was a penalty advantage there for Hobart from that scrum. But yeah, Edwards just running dead sideways there. Like they decided on a move with a bit of a switch play, but he needs to be driving forward so that his teammates can actually get on the inside of him rather than running dead straight across the field. Pretty risky proposition running dead straight across the field when you've got Junior Mafu defending opposite you. He will cut you in half, as he almost did in that move there. Elliott takes the ball and drives forward. Good opportunity here for Hobart now inside the 5 metre. Ball goes to Edwards. Just standing and passing. Got some space out wide here. Clack to Webb. Taken down in the end in a good tackle. Ball rolls out around the side, and a try has been scored. No. Might just hit a replay here. Jonah Alba being congratulated by his teammates. Ball rolled out, and I think they claimed that they'd taken him over the sideline, but it looks like Will Clack may have scored that.
Yeah.
Oh, unable to pick up on the referee box. But deemed to be no try and taken over. So close call. Close call there. Hard for the referees in those situations to know. It looked potentially like Clack had scored that on our replay. You can all play that back yourselves and make your own decisions. Quins now. The throw from Reed gets its way to Mafu. Smothered. Ball bounces out. Taken back in, though, by Hobart. Thought that was... Thought that was taken back in by Hobart. They must have got it out of the in-goal area before it bounced out. And Leatua gets the kick, but he's put it out on the full. Well left by Morgan Macbeth on this side. Gives a bit of a clap. So just a bit of a mistake there by Leatua to put that one out on the full. And that gives Hobart the scrum chance. Look at the colours on this screen at the moment. The sun is just shining beautifully right now. Those long shadows getting low. Probably only have the sun shining out here for about another half an hour. And as we come into the last, probably about 7 minutes of this match. Oh yeah, of the half, not of the match. Thanks, Marcus. At least someone knows something about rugby. We see Harlequins doing a great job just to disrupt the flow of the play for the Lions. I think it'll be a pretty frustrating half of rugby if you're a Lions player or supporter. Just haven't been able to put anything together to really look particularly dangerous. And Harlequins have done a great job in defence just to mess things up. It's another scrum. Hobart have been great in this area. But Quins put on the pressure. And messy pass coming out of there from Logie. I thought it looked like it went forward. And in the end, Clark copped a solid hit from Mafu, but the penalty advantage is there. No, not a penalty advantage. Ball comes back to Webb, and he gets around Ransley. Gets around another one. Oh! We're going to have some trouble here because that was a very high shoulder, and there's a lot of form from the man making that hit with no arms in the tackle. He's been known to do this, and he's had red card upon red card over his career. And we're going to see if we can pick up the discussion here between assistant referee Michael Evans and
all right. So these are facts I've got. All right. Thank you. Great running at speed. All right. He hasn't dropped any significant height. He hasn't changed any significant direction. He's run straight into the line. All right. The green players come forward, was never low. He made direct contact with the head with significant force. So on a red card. Yep. Do you know anything for me to go? No, I got a red card.
You heard it. So red card to Sonia Mafu again.
All right, so he's speed. There's no communication. Made direct contact with the force.
And they're arguing about it, but I don't know, it didn't look good from here. Shaking his head, but yeah, I don't know. if there was head contact, the red is completely warranted. I can't say whether or not there was head contact, but you will all know because you've got access to that replay right now. But he's still shaking his head as he goes off. But the guy's not changed the way he tackles in his whole career, and he's repeatedly been sent off for things like that. So I don't know if I'd be surprised if I was him. Webb, good to see he's up and he's okay. And he's kicking that ball, but I think he's missed touch and he's put it out. So disappointing there. And we'll come back for 20. Quins have opted for the scrum. I don't know if that's an option in that case, actually. He's kicked the ball dead. So coming into the last 5 minutes of the half here, Harlequins getting pumped up here. They really want to win this scrum and get the ball out of here. Ransley here with the put in. Great drive from Hobart, but Wish Wilson manages to get it out. He's very close to the sideline and manages to get to ground too. So good work in the end from Quinn's forward pack to get around and support him. Dean Adam making another good run there. And guess who? Clack Jr. Ian over the top of that. He had his hands on the ball, but I think he went off his feet. But good pressure from him. And another penalty against the Lions. Leatua will look to kick long with his team now down to 14. And he's missed touch with that one. Rodrigo very close to the line, takes it nicely, gives it to Webb. He's got Clack, Eade. Derek Clack, there's a forward pass there, so not good work there from Zane Eade. Be interesting to see how time works today. The referee will be able to see the clock on the scoreboard, which is right in front of where he's standing right now. It's been running without any stoppages for nearly 38 minutes. Probably quite helpful. There's not a lot of grounds around the state. I think this is the only one actually in our rugby where there's an electronic scoreboard. But very helpful, and the players to be able to see roughly how much time there is left, and for the referee as well, and to see what the score is, so they don't have to remember it. Ball comes in. Harlequins got it out quickly. Wish Wilson picks that up nicely and drives forward. Ransley in to get it quickly. And Panisi now drives forward, manages to get to ground eventually. Squeeze it back, and the ball now comes to Ladlow. Hits the contact, lays it back nicely. Frost comes in, and then Ransley's got more support on the right-hand side. Millhouse, I think they're having a run in the blue headgear. Ball popped back to Dean Adam. Lays it back. The ruck work's been really, really solid by Harlequins. Ladlow coming into contact there and looking for a pass outside, but nothing on, and wisely holds onto it. Harlequins just making those, grinding through those metres as they like to do, is really working well for them. That's going to be their way through this game. Making 1 or 2 metres at the breakdown each time is going to be successful for Quins, being a player down. Going back, clear signal there, offside. And another penalty against the Lions. Leatua just asking there, taking his time. Players will know that we're very close to half time. And I'd say after, well, we could see half time after this line out. We're just ticking over the 40-minute mark. No, I'm not paying enough attention here. They opted to have a shot at goal. Not a bad idea, actually, coming into the end of the first half. Leah Tour here now, taking his time. Almost right in front. It's a nice looking kick. And he's missed to the left. Ball's taken by Webb. But it went out. And we've still got time to play. Webb goes and looks for a quick kick. Gets around. Wonky one into the mud. Ransley's back there. The ball just stops dead. He's got Jonah Abbott outside him, but he goes the kick. And wisely done by Cameron Ransley, because that's half time. And he's allowed his team to just go into the half with that narrow 4-point lead. But the tail of that first half is the red card to Sonia Mafu for a high shot on Taylor Webb. It's a very solid contact, and Mafu's still not happy about it. See him out there, but a shame for him to and for his team for them to have to play with 14 for the rest of the match. But been a hard slog there. Lions had 20 minutes of solid possession and field position in Quinn's half, only to be able to put 3 points on, and then Harlequins really turned the table to put on a converted try and really start to dominate the match and maintain some possession too in the latter part of the half. We'll take a break with the players and be back with you very soon. Okay, ready for the second half. This tight tussle with Quins just with their noses in front, but as mentioned, they're a player down for the rest of the match. It's going to make it hard for them. Can Hobart exploit that man down and find some gaps out wide? And the clock starts, and we're away. Ball goes back, and Leatua with a nice boot downfield. Cleans that up, and I reckon we'll see a fair bit of that from Faye Leatua this half, as he will be wanting his team to go. And they go with a quick line out. So good work there. Clack and Rodrigo, good talking. Ball comes to Eade. Takes it to the line. Nice tackle by Aaron Ladlow to dislodge that ball. Eade again just looking to try and force a pass in the tackle instead of getting it away early. And that one's knocked on. So disappointment for the Lions as another opportunity goes begging. Zach Millhouse running into contact this time. And Ransley gets in there, gives it to Jack Lockley, who's now on the field, and he's hit very solidly. See the clean jumper of, of Jack Lockley. Reed busts through a couple of tackles. The try scorer. I've got to release him and let him get that ball back, though, and he eventually does. Lockley now, Ransley gives it off to Lockley, who makes more metres for his team. Ball now, Dean Adam. Made some good hard metres last half, did Adam. Ball now to Ladlow. Doesn't want to go too far here. He's got no support with him. And that ball stolen very nicely. I think Morgan Macbeth there in contact and then grabbed that. And now we've got Duckett running down the field. I don't think they're going to get him. They're not. And Louis Duckett scores a runaway try for the Lions against the play. It was a really good cover tackle attempt by Mackay Cullen, but the pumping knees of Louis Duckett getting over the line next to the posts and put his team back in front. I don't think anyone expected that. Duckett just came out of nowhere with that ball, found a little gap, and put his team in front. So not the start that Quins were hoping for. They don't want to be coming from behind when they're already a player behind. And Louis Duckett, though, he's the man. Clack with the conversion. Taking his time here. And now he moves. It's a nice strike and straight over the bar. Can't say over the dot because there's no dot here. Pushes the Lions out now to a 3-point lead. Close matches mostly today around the grounds. So 10-7, just a 3-point lead here. Up at Burnie. Burnie currently sitting in 4th position on the ladder. They've had a bit of a slip. They got walloped last week by Launceston, and today they're just behind Uni. So Burnie on 12 and Uni currently on 13. And then the other match down south here between 1st and 3rd, Launceston and Taroona. Launceston are up 10-3. And a great chase. Oh, high tackle there over the shoulder of Cullen. And great kick chase from him. He's been amazing today, Mackay Cullen. And Quins now with the ball have a penalty advantage. And Ashton Reed is causing some havoc. And they go to the blind, but nothing really on. Nice run there from Outman. Again, pumping his legs to get out of the tackles. Slippery, muddy legs are hard to tackle, and players just aren't able to hold on. Harlequins now come again. Millhouse pushes it out. Reed, he's lifted and really wants to get his team in front. Now, Leatua comes into the halfback position. Ransley's there, but not needed. Outman tries to get around the outside of Brendan Elliott, but can't do so. Then comes back inside. Wish Wilson comes in to clean out. And Ransley comes in to drops that ball in the contact, looking for a quick, sneaky dart around the outside. And we'll come back to the penalty advantage for that high tackle on Cullen from way back at the kickoff. So, yes, Launceston 10, Taroona 3. And they go the quick tap. Not going to give me any time to get the rest of the scores done. Lockley hits into contact. Ladlow wants that next ball. Goes in very high. Duckett doesn't go low enough, and Ladlow manages to get over that gain line and drive his team forward. Here he is again, Reed. He's so dangerous this close to the line. This guy is an absolute ox running at the line. Outman just consistent there, hanging on to that ball, and we've got another advantage. Looks like offside out there, I reckon. Lockley's been busy getting the ball in his hand since he's come on this half. And we've got another penalty advantage. So Hobart need to be careful in here. Ball comes out. Reed. Well tackled. Just good work there. Hanging on to him by Zane Eade coming in. And we're going to come back. So pressure there from Hobart at that one. And Leatua goes the quick tap again. He gets around. He's going to score here and he's over. Just sleepy defence there from the Lions. Leatua essentially ran through the entire forward pack standing in front of him, got around that first tackler, the only person who was actually paying attention. I'm not sure who it was. Macbeth got up quickly, Webb got up quickly, and the others were still standing on the line. You see the fist pumps there, the double fist pump from Ashton Reed. And the Quins go back in front on this seesaw of a match. Unbelievable. The final match that I haven't managed to even get to mentioning yet this half around the grounds is the match between the Bulls and the Stags up north at Devonport. And the Bulls, last time I called, were 7-0 leaders. They raced away to 21-0, but the Stags have hit back. It's now 21-7, so pretty close games around the whole state today. Currently only 2 points here. Could be equal if Leatua can put this kick over. Looks pretty good. No, he's gone out wide. So just a 2-point game here. 1 point the margin with UTAS up by 1 over Burnie. 7 points at Rugby Park with Launceston 10-3, and just 2 tries in it with the Bulls 21-7. So exciting rugby around the state today. And this one is an absolute nail-biter. Less than 8 minutes played. Oh, and it's exciting times. Number 11 on the field here for the Lions, Callum Krauts. Ball comes back over the head of Wish Wilson and taken nicely by, looks like a fresh jersey out there for Harlequins. Ransley goes the kick into the box and just juggled. Clack gets around the tacklers. He goes one way, he steps inside. He's elusive, that's for sure. Now they've got numbers out wide. They've got to straighten up. They do, but aren't able to get that ball out with numbers out wide. So Will Clack there just needed to straighten up and then draw and pass instead of trying to go himself. And now the Lions driving forward. 6 metres out. Rodrigo comes into that halfback position and a solid pressure out there. Mistakes made. And the ball goes out and Quins will have the line out throw. Just having a look, Ian Clack Jr. looking pretty tired there as he walks up to this line out. Steps towards the back. Wish Wilson at the back for the Quins. Reed takes his time, gets the throw to Outman nicely, who brings it down, but no, not straight. Didn't look very straight from here, but we don't have a great angle. And referee Gardner's all over that. So The line out fails for Quins, and Hobart will take an attacking scrum on the 22. Clack just looking out to Edwards. What's going on? What do you want to do? Where are you going to go? Rodrigo has come across from the wing, and he's right in the pocket of Edwards. Seen Edwards with any of the moves they've done, just running across field, trying to draw Eade back inside. That inside line with Eade's always a good one if there's a gap. He's a great solid runner, but the pressure on the scrum comes, and Quins are in raptures over this one because they've put the pressure on and they've won it. And Quins come away with the ball. Leatua gets on the back of that ball and end over end puts it out though. Doesn't make as many metres as he would have liked, but it's still a pretty decent clear. Gets his team close to the halfway line. And Pumba Wish Wilson comes off and replaced by a familiar hairdo. Wait till you see it. Who's that? It's the Kiwi. Who does he even play for? With East having a bye today, Kiwis come out to give a hand to Quins, and he gets the ball straight away. What a move. Here he is, the man, the reserve, making a difference. Injecting into the game straight away. Adam just wasn't quite ready for that one. Caught on the back feet, in the mud again. Lockley, he's been a strong player for them this half. After coming on, hands that ball off, and then they drive forward. Elliott might have his hands on that. No, goes to ground. Reed, this guy's just unstoppable. Ball rolls back. Lucky, I think picked up by Panisi. Oh, Ransley decides he wants to kick that one, and it just goes straight up in the air. In the end, bounces, and guess who turns up with it? Ian Clack. Rodrigo now calling. Good counter-rucking there. Leatua needs to stay off Rodrigo, and he does. Edwards decides, I'm going to kick this out of here. Rodrigo was off his wing. Oh, so not Rodrigo. There he is there. The winger finally gets back on that side. I think it's Mella on that side. And the turnover. Again, the ball stolen. Ball retention is everything today. This close match. If you can't hold on to the ball, Morgan Macbeth with a big bustling run through the middle there. If you can't hold on to the ball, you've got no chance of winning. Ball gets booted through there.
Right, Kevin was on the wrong side of the ruck and kicked it out of the way.
It's being played at a frantic pace at the moment too. It's something that's Hobart don't really need to do. They're still a player up. Yeah, they're behind on the scoreboard, but 3 points here puts them back in front. And there's a lot of time left on the clock. Harlequins, however, really using that frantic pace to their advantage. I think the adrenaline's keeping them in the game. Players like Reed, he's just been everywhere, and he's hitting up with the ball, is just making it so hard for Hobart to do anything. Fitness will really be the telling factor, but particularly with 14 players on the field. But Quins are just playing out of their skins at the moment, and the slow down to take advantage of the overlap and the extra player is probably going to advantage Hobart if they can bring themselves to that level. So kick here from Clack is good, and Lions back in front. The seesaw continues. Interesting, the scores here match the scores up at Burnie at the moment, with the score there being 13-12 as well, but it's University on top in that match. And the Stags have put on another 7 points as well, so only 7 behind. So We've got 2 1-point matches and 2 7-point matches around the grounds at the moment. Launceston's still in front. That's a great looking kick there too. Oh, well taken by Duckett though. Bit surprised there. It almost fell into his arms as he turned around. Now Edwards, he's going to look to kick long here. There's no one back. Doesn't quite get onto it. Oh dear. McGowan not able to take that one and picked up in the end there by my man Krauts. And around the sideline goes Clack. Steps one way, steps the other. But Outman comes back and covers in defence. Edwards just standing still and turning there. Manages to find Summerfield running sideways. Some good work out there. Rodrigo getting around the outside but taken into touch by some solid defence. Mella, I think, teaming up over there with Jonah Albert and pushing Ashan Rodrigo into touch. Game starting to look tough now for Quins. Well taken by Outman and drives forward really quickly. Great work from him. Realised no one was there to pay attention to him bringing that ball to ground. No contest. And now Millhouse has a run. Just lifted off the ground a little bit there and driven backwards. Gets the ball back. And Ladlow, he's also lifted seriously. Oh, here we go, Ashton Reed. No, well done by Louis Duckett to not let him go. And then they go to an uncontested ruck there, if such a thing exists. Ransley, again, these short balls, great hit on Lockley there. Macbeth making, I think, yeah, Morgan Macbeth just driving Lockley backwards with a low tackle. Dean Adam hits solidly. Kiwi with a big clean out. Leatua hangs onto it and they let him go. He wanted to kick and Edwards got up really quickly outside him. Now Clack dummies the kick and goes the step off that left, dishes it off to Elliott. They've got numbers out wide. Rodrigo straightens up, back inside. Cops a solid hit over the top there with one around his ankles. And now they come to the left. Edwards running ahead. This is where he's dangerous. Hits off Albert, dishes it off to Eade, who throws a pass into the shoulder of the defender and turns it over. Here we go. So Lockley now with a big hit up. Oh, intentional knock on there, I would have thought, from Clack. But he gets away with it as just a regular everyday knock on. And the scrum will happen, but Quins put in about 15 metres out. 1 point in it. What a nail biter. Halfway through this second half. And a big drive here from Hobart. I think they've turned it over too. Clack's going to be dangerous here. He gets back inside Ransley. He's going to be hard to stop, and he is stopped just by Ladlow, about a metre short. Good counter-rucking from Harlequins, and I think they're going to win that. Except Ladlow off his feet there, picked it up. And he looks up and says, "What, sir?" But definitely off his feet. If we can pick up the referee mic here.
Very lucky it's not a card there, right? Just hands on the rush, right? Next one down here is going to go, yeah? So you have a chance, you got to talk to them, right? Send that message. Next one down here is going to be yellow card, yeah?
The counter ruck there by Ladlow was really good, or by the Queen's team was really good. It's just Ladlow was off his feet and he picked up the ball to push it back so his team could get it out when he didn't have a right to do that because he was no longer on his feet. So good opportunity here for the Lions. hit Brendan Elliott running straight in the end, but gets taken just short. And again, the counter ruck from Quins is good.
All right. It was trapped through no fault of theirs, all right, when then they got the advantage because of it, all right? So it's going to be a strong trap.
I think Gardner lost sight of the ball there. We can see pretty clearly on the camera that the ball was actually available on this side, and the counter ruck just put the pressure on. But the scrum will go to the Lions because they took that ball in to the ruck. All right, great opportunity here. You will, if you're Cameron Ransley for Quins, you'll want to be wearing Ian Clack like a glove. He's very dangerous this close to the line. Oh, looping pass over the head of Edwards, cleaned up by Will Clack. Ian Clack darts through, taken, and he gets the ball away, and Edwards scores. So great persistence there by the Lions, and really, really excellent direction from Ian Clack Jr. to end up putting Will Edwards over with a really easy try, for Edwards at least. But great work. Clack got through. The pressure came from Leatua, who was able to hold up Clack, but the support on the outside. Edwards has been pretty solid all day, and good persistence there from the Lions to put him over. So, bit of a buffer margin now there for the Lions, up to 6 points. Conversion from this wide out would be very handy for them to make an 8-point lead, more than one converted try. Marking his kick. He stands, once he gets back here, he stands pretty still for quite a while. And here he goes. Gives a little shuffle and then moves forward. It's a great strike. Just missing to the right. Can be a tough comeback from here. Quins is looking like they're starting to tire a little, and Hobart shuffling the ball around. Really the first time they put the ball through the hands a few times in a row without any errors, and that gave them that try. But Ian Clack, Jr., captain and halfback of this team, is really ignited a few attacking forays this half. And if he can continue to do that, it's going to be very hard for Quins to get back into it. The kick from Leatua just goes too far. It's a shame here with this game, without being able to kick exactly from the middle of the field due to that mud patch, that the players just need to kick from so close to the sideline. And he's done a really good job the last few times, has Leatua, to give his kick chasers a good opportunity to get up at that time. Just pushed it out too wide. And the Lions now with another scrum feed on the halfway. Just a reset there. Bit of a discussion. Reset expectations. And number 20 there for Harlequins in the cleanest outfit on the field right now. Fale Adalio. I haven't seen him around a whole heap, and good to see him on the field. He and Ian Clack played against each other a few times in the past, giving each other a bit of a pat before that scrum.
Just gone around.
Louis Duckett just trying to earn some brownie points there by being nice to the referee. No complaints. We'll reset. And what front row doesn't like a reset with without a turnover? And here we go. So ball about to go into this scrum on the halfway. Lions with that narrow 6-point lead and another great scrum from Harlequins. They'll win a penalty this time. Put that drive. Last time the scrum just wheeled straight, whereas this time Quins put the drive on first. And then the Lions forward pack wheeled around to the side. And that gives Faye Leatua another kicking opportunity. He makes another 10 or 12 metres for his side. And they'll have a line out. Haven't had a lot of opportunity this half with the ball in hand. Have the Quins. And they have been dangerous though. Reed with the throw. The usual line-out throw. Oh, dear. Was supposed to go to Panisi, I think, who jumped but wasn't lifted. And he didn't hit him. Now that ball's rolled back. Kiwi falls on top of Clack. And I'm not sure if Quins have managed to win that ball. No, it's on Hobart's side still. Ball comes back. Edwards just takes it into the hands of Weedman. And a wonky pass goes back to Clack, who drops it. And now Outman picks up on the scraps. And Quins with an opportunity now with the turnover, driving forward into the 22 of Hobart. Ball now comes around to Lockley, who's been very busy this half. Adeleo over the top of Reed's head and dived on by Cullen. He gets it back, but the counter ruck is good. And Clack picks it up, runs across in an attacking. Whoa, some good driving off the ruck there by Quins, but hands in there from Harlequins, and Hobart earn themselves the penalty. Last one get up there off the ground is Ian Clack Jr. under the bottom of that pile. We've seen him there a lot today. He's been very good. And a nice boot from Taylor Webb, the recipient of a very solid and high hit in the first half from Sonny Amafu, who received that red card. You can see on the marked on the Quinn score on our screen, and a couple of substitutions here. Josh Talbot coming on. Chris Mahina, I think, may just come onto the wing for the Quins as well. And the ball comes away, and Edwards finds a nice hole back there behind a very shallow Sam McGowan, and Cullen wasn't over there to cover that either. A really good kick there. Nearly made the 50-22. Did Edwards in that situation. The ball's gone out just outside the 22, another couple of metres, and Hobart would have had the line out. So the line out to come Reed with the throw. But Hobart penalised there for closing the gap, not maintaining the gap in the line out, and it's not a penalty, it's just a free kick. So Kiwi decides he's going to have a big run, and a good option there because he knocks his way and skittles a few Hobart defenders over, gets his way to the 10-metre line. Outman has been exceptional today. His consistency and ability to just do the right things when they're needed have been outstanding. And this guy has been just nuts today, Ashton Reid. Every time he's got the ball, he's pinned his ears back and really looked like a threat. Ladlow, another great run from him. Adeleo comes in, dishes the ball off to Outman, to Lockley. Good tackling underneath there by Duckett, but Duckett not rolling. We're going to see someone a yellow card here, I think.
Captain.
Or maybe a warning.
Cannonball at his leg.
Right, so dangerous entry into the ruck there from Negri, who's that player, I think, who just playing in his first game for the Lions. I heard he was only registered very recently, maybe even just yesterday. So yellow card for his first game for the year at least. And now we're 14 apiece. So with that yellow card, I will suspect that he'll be off for the rest of the game. We're probably under 10 minutes to play. So it'll be 14 aside. And that may well buoy Quins, who are looking dangerous again now with the ball in an attacking position. Outman gets up. Was that straight? No. So disappointment there for Quins. First attacking chance down there in a while, and they've bungled it. Scrum to Hobart. This could go anyway, this scrum. We've had Quins win a few penalties against the feed. Got a reasonably fresh front row in there, although Ashton Reid with the two props there, Lockley and Kiwi, both very, very strong scrummages. Likewise on the other side, Thompson, Duckett, Macbeth. Pretty experienced front row too, but Quins have looked dangerous at this part of the game recently. Need to be a tight scrum here and a quick exit from Hobart. And they get it back there. Well done. But it's turned over and Ladlow has the ball. Gives it to Adeleo, and they're now 6 metres out, Quins, with the ball. So good pressure at the back of that last scrum there. And Leatua comes in, gives the ball off to Lockley, who gets halfway from where he caught the ball to the try line. But ball stolen there.
Because you're on top of it, he's got no chance to win it. Yeah, but your body was on top of it. It's still stealing you. So
Lockley went in there and I think the ball was underneath him based on the referee's words. And so deemed to be holding on because he didn't allow the other team to get it. That kick has not, just made touch. Just made touch there. So great gain from Webb with his kick there to get his team well out of that danger zone. Throw in comes and well won by Hobart. Edwards now on the front foot and kicks and finds the grass again. Well picked up back there by Cullen. And as he's done all throughout that first half, gets past the first tackler. Runs into a solid hit, though, from Brendan Elliott. And Hobart have turned it over. Ball comes out. Macbeth, dishes the pass off. Had every opportunity there to get that ball out wide, and Macbeth went for probably the worst of the options that are around him. Unfortunately, in that mud, it's pretty hard to do the right thing, and bit of an error sees the ball turned back over to Harlequins. Getting very close though. Pushing now to only just over 5 minutes left in this match. Still fairly close around the grounds. We've got a 6-point margin here. Burnie have a fairly narrow but maybe relatively comfortable 9-point lead over University as we're coming down to the end of these matches. Launceston are 12 points out in front of Taroona, and it's a 14-point ball game up at Devonport. Whereas here, Adalio didn't want that ball, and now it's in the hands of Weedman, who gets it off to Clack. Darts one way and the other, as we always see, and then he kicks it through. Oh, no! Mahina's done a hamstring on the way back, but there's a knock-on back here. I've seen a knock-on. I thought that ball was, I thought Clack must have kicked that ball, but must have been knocked out in the tackle. And as Chris Mahina was chasing it back, he's pulled up very short. He's staying on the field, though. It's a risky proposition, but the ball is in the hands of Harlequins at this scrum. Four minutes remain. Is there anyone on this Harlequins team who can run the length of the field to score a try? Ball comes to Leatua. He goes with the kick. It's a good one. Very good one. And clears his team out. Good chase out there by Talbot, I think, just to make sure that the quick line out wasn't on for Hobart. The sun's about to disappear behind us. You can see now the play's mostly in shadow. There's a fantastic rainbow in the background. And the ball well won there by Elliott. Tapped down. Clack dishes off to Edwards. Just juggled that, so didn't give the pass. Eade was a long way back as well, flat-footed. So good decision-making there by Edwards. Clack goes the boot. Bounces off a player. And Rodrigo, who's been good since coming on, has caught that one. He's playing out on the wing, Rodrigo, but he's good. He's a good follower of the ball. He stays involved. And here comes some space now. Weedman, he's got Will Clack, and a tackle from Aaron Ladlow, who's been exceptional this half. Dislodges that ball.
First one off Gray. Scrum game.
And forces the knock on. Clack was looking outside him. He had Krauts out there wide and dislodged by Ladlow. Deep into this match now, not a lot of time to go, and Quinn's looking more and more difficult for them to get out of this half of the field with the ball. Millhouse breaks the tackle. Oh, breaks another one. This could be it. Runs in. Edwards comes across in cover defence and makes a good tackle. Hobart just diving over that ball there. Player not rolling away. Ball's clear though. And the ball comes out. Outman, not sure which way to go. So just slows it up. They've made it into an attacking position now, Harlequins. Kiwi runs into contact, taken around the feet, dishes it off to Talbot. who takes it forward, and the ball rolls back. Adelaide need to get that out quickly. Here it comes to Ladlow. Good contact by Elliott, and that's knocked on. Clack goes forward, but we've got offside play here. So lucky there for Harlequins. Penalty opportunity here. The goal could be on, although they're too far down for that to be worth it. So 6 points here. They need the converted try. Leatua hands the ball to Adeleo, and he wants to go the tap. Just directed. I love the smile on Foley's face. No, and they decide that they're going to go to the line. And just a short kick there by Leatua to take the ball onto the 22. And in what I imagine is going to be the last phases of play. Quins have the line out. Ball will go to Outman, pretty much guaranteed. It's the safe bet. He's good at the line out. It's not very straight though, and disappointment there for Quins. Still must be time on the clock. So Hobart will have to win this scrum, and no, they opt for the line out instead. Not a bad idea given that Harlequins have had some good dominance in the scrums in recent times. Hobart, can they grind this out? Or can Quins snatch this ball and come from behind? They've lost it, and Outman's onto it. He throws it back inside to Adeleo. He runs 5 metres. They're so close now, about 8-10 metres out. Ball picked up at the bottom. Lockley has been excellent this half. Quins now, tails up, picked up, driven around. Adeleo digging in deep. Oh, and a knock on at the base. Just a substitution happening. Oh, it's not the substitution. It's the yellow card of Negri back on the field, which will bolster the scrum of Hobart with an extra player in there. So, tense situation here where this ball is a turnover. A try under the post to Harlequins would give them the prime opportunity to snatch their first win of the season. I'm sure they'll give this scrum everything. They just need to be very careful not to drive too early and hand the ball easily to Hobart. Big scrum required here from the Lions. Ball comes in, gets to the back quickly. Pressure's there. Ball dribbled out over the back by Webb, and a very scary match there for Hobart Lions supporters, but they managed to scrape away at the end there with a 6-point win, despite the efforts of 14-man Harlequins team there, who struggled all day, gave it their all, but were unable to come away with the win. Very, very, very tense match, and excellent spectacle here for everyone watching. Not the best conditions for rugby, but the players out there all gave that their all, and in the end, Lions just come away with that 6-point win. So thanks for watching us this week. That will cap off our round 12 match here today. Can't see any changes in the scores around the other grounds. I'll just do a quick update, see if there's anything going on. But looks like Burnie 9 points ahead, so we'll probably win. Launceston 17 points out now in front of Taroona, who have only been able to score 1 penalty goal. But it's only 7 points the difference at Devonport, so that could end up anywhere with Glenorchy, who are renowned for putting a lot of points on at the end of the game. I'll be keen to see how that one ends out. But anyway, we'll call that a day here, and we'll see you next week in the Tasmanian Rugby Union for round 13.
it.